And hi guys, and welcome to this topic discussion, this stream of two amazing topics. And with me, once again, is my dear friend, Logan, who's very familiar with everything that's happening these days.
Oh boy.
And it's just amazing that we get to talk about these things. But it's just not very good occasion, you know? It just sucks, monkey balls. Okay, so two topics that we have, guys, is what the heck is happening with Trench Crusade, which is a rising tabletop game. And the other thing is well, how many years now? Maybe 15 years to this point or less. But yeah, it's Assassin's Creed with the latest game, which it is now Assassin's Creed Shadows. Before it was Assassin's Creed Red, and it's finally set in Japan. And a lot of people are actually expecting that and looking forward to that. Logan included.
Yes.
He just loves this because it's his favorite setting. And I have played all the AAA, have to underline all the AAA Assassin's Creed games so far. So for me to have another Assassin's Creed game, it's literally an event. I really love the games. So it is to my utmost shock and disgust that we are here
We
for
have gathered here today to be shocked and appalled.
yes, for the topic that we actually have to discuss now and why we have to discuss it. So it's not that good, guys.
Yeah.
But hi to everybody in the chat. Of course, this is live. We are going to get straight to the point. First with Trench Crusade. So before a few days ago, I did a stream with one of my other dear friends from the channel Chicago Reacts, Kid, and we have talked about Trench Crusade, how things looked back then in that moment. It looked like it could be an interesting tabletop game, and it still could be an interesting tabletop game, but it is just surrounded with so much negativity that has transpired the last few days. And it's all coming from 28 on Discord, which are like another representative something company that's for some reason hosting Trench Crusade instead of Trench Crusade getting their own Discord. But yeah, first Trench Crusade is up and coming, tabletop game that a lot of people thought that they can get like a refuge, literally to be refugees from 40k and go there and just find some kind of a solace because they thought that the game is based and not woke. But then we found out a ton of not very good things, basically, because when people tried to join the Discord that was hosted by these guys from 28 something, they were all ridiculed, banned, just made fun of, and the attitude towards everyone there was pretty much disgusting. So now we're up to here with the stupidity, and unfortunately they actually even closed down their Discord and nobody can join. I tried to join so I can see things from first hand, but I couldn't because it is now locked until people quote unquote get more calm. But they wouldn't be 28 Mac Thanksgiving. So they wouldn't be annoyed,
Annoyed.
irritated if this didn't happen. So I read some of the things that people actually managed to screen cap on Twitter, and they're pretty horrible. And yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't get my own, like I've said, my own contributing factor there, I mean, my own voice there, but really, I know that I'm gonna be kicked out of it anyway. So there are some rules there. No insults or personal attacks. Be respectful at all times. That's normal. That's not something
Yeah.
that I would have. I mean, I am actually having this rule. Of course, no insults, no personal attacks. I don't think I framed it this way. Just be like normal human beings. I don't actually have a lot of rules on my Golden Astartes Discord server. Treat others with respect and don't post anything racist, sexist, homophobic, and trans. That's weird because it kind of seems like it's the opposite.
If you're one of them,
If you're
actually,
one of those things, it's
yeah.
great.
Oh
Yeah.
boy. Yeah.
Yeah, then don't throw, cause trouble, or be a dick. Don't spam or flood things with all caps. Okay, great. Uh, not no explicitly sexual stuff or overly graphic content. We got some younger members. Uh-huh. Okay, I mean, fine, but they have blocking people for just saying anything really.
Yeah.
And they block Lady Rune Song on there as well. So, yeah, even her, I mean, she will probably just say something that's very based. I mean, even if she says that the sky is blue, they're going to
Yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
offended, I guess.
Yeah,
So,
because it's not with all the colors of the flag, you know, the sky. It's only blue.
it's only blue. It's such a
Yeah.
poor, not inclusive
Yes.
sky.
No, no, it's only
Jesus,
blue.
it cannot be just what it is.
No representation in the sky.
No representation. Okay, so going through Twitter real quick, guys. Sorry if I can see something. There was a post I think from one of the developers that actually was okay. It was just talking about that real politics even should not be included in the game. But that's the only positive thing that I saw. And then I don't know when what I mean. Where did I? Jesus Christ, English. Where did that go? Basically, I mean, the only positive thing, just one thing. Haven't seen anything yet. There are some of the replies that said, "Oh, we don't care, like we don't care at all for you. It's like you mean nothing to us, so who cares?" So now the only thing that we can see in the future that could be kind of redeeming if the developers themselves just be more open and come out and actually discuss whatever they can discuss with people and be like, "Hey, we actually don't stand for this," but I don't think they will because so far it seems like they are teaming up with someone that's extremely woke and
Yeah,
not
yeah.
based, the opposite of based. And how did how Jesus Christ today? How didn't
How did
they know this? You know? I mean,
or didn't they?
yeah, they
Yeah,
should. I
they
mean,
should. Yeah, I
how
mean,
is this possible for them to not know this? So if they didn't know it, but they're based, that means that they're lazy with that.
yeah, and they just got some company to do things for them, but it's
Yeah,
not the correct company.
yeah. Did something smells burn? Sorry, guys.
You know?
Something really smells like something is burning here, but nothing is burning.
It's not us from the lamps or something.
Nope. We didn't leave something in the kitchen burning. Nope. Okay. Okay, guys. If something is burning, hopefully it's not. It's not here.
Hopefully, if we wait until the end of the stream.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, in my personal view, we should all just stick around, so to speak, and see what happens with 40K. Not only see what happens, but just voice our opinions, showcase when things are woke and dumb and they're trying to ruin our hobby. There are literally people on Twitter that, and not only on Twitter, but everywhere, that just thrive on, ruining other people's fun
Yeah.
for about everything. So it's like we're truly fighting here some kind of a war that is happening. I really read some absolutely disgusting things. And also I saw that these 24 Mac people have been posting some space marines, like advocating for female space marine articles
Oh
and
boy.
advocating for space marines
Transgenders. No?
trying to say something that's not gonna I
Mm,
mean, it's not gonna be, too uncensored here, but they're trying to advocating for gay space marine kicks.
yeah.
Kicks. Kicks is the Bulgarian word for something like a huge cupcake. So keks. And that's disgusting. I mean, I read one of them and I'm about to read the other about the Space Marines, but that's a video on its own. We just gotta talk about this. So it just does not look good for those guys right now. For 28 Mac, that is.
Yes, Space Marines don't do that.
Yeah.
killing yourself.
Yeah, there you go. A huge cupcake. You don't really have that in America.
Yeah, we do have here a huge cupcake.
We can't say that. I mean, we can't find an equivalence. We can explain what that is.
Yeah,
Yes.
but it's pronounced cakes.
Yeah, Space
Yes,
Marines don't have any
cakes.
yeah, sexual desires of any kind. Of course, unless they're Slaaneshy, you know. But that's totally different.
But
I mean,
then,
normal Space
yeah,
Marines, not demonic, not altered. So that's different. Yeah. Um, so there's a huge argument about trans Jesus Space Marines, but of course it's ridiculous. So we are going to destroy it very easily on one of these next videos that are coming. But so far, guys, you know, Trench Crusade really looks interesting. I mean, visually, to me, it looks like some part of 40k. Some people said it does not look anything like 40k, but really, this guy alone on the thumbnail that I put on the thumbnail,
yeah.
no, this guy. It's this guy, yes.
The guy with the mask.
Yeah, this guy. It's so amazing when I look to our screen. So yeah, this guy just looks straight from Dead Corpse of Greek. And of course, you can say that Dead Corpse of Greek are inspired by Nazis. Yeah, of course, but I haven't seen that in any other universe with the mask like fully covered, and the clothes, the guns, even the helmet, the way that everything is done, just so much Dead Corpse of Creek. And there's some other like landscapes that I saw in their site that look so much like something out of a 40k, like a war zone, for example. So you can't say it does not look like 40k because it kind of does, at least in some aspects. There's demon creatures that look nothing like 40k. They just look like blobs with hands or what is a pimple, a
A
pimple
pimple.
with
Yeah.
legs. It's just disgusting. So there's that. Haichu optic,
High
Haichu
optic.
optic. Yeah, maybe they should ask a Ukraine soldier how often they think about their gender when they're getting shot. As it's war, nobody has time for that. Exactly, exactly. Just doesn't make any freaking
Yeah.
sense. And when you know, Logan here has
Yes.
gay friends.
Yes.
And what
I
do
do.
what are those gay friends telling you about woke politics?
That is bullcrap.
Ah,
And they don't want it because they don't think that this actually helps. One of them is actually has like a website about movies and TV shows and cinema in general and horror stuff and things like that, in which he writes reviews, articles, and he openly writes against the woke things in those movies. And he even said many times that his pleasure for movies is kind of ruined now because he doesn't want to see those things. It doesn't have any sense. It does not help. None of those friends of mine actually go to pride parades, and because we do have that in here. Yes.
unfortunately for everyone.
Unfortunately, we have it. I was once on one long time ago when I was thinking that this actually helps people. It turns out that it's actually, you know, nothing. It's just you show off who you are and stuff like that.
It's
Yeah.
an egotistical thing, and
Exactly.
if
Exactly.
who you are is only your sexual orientation, then you're
Exactly.
no one,
And one of my
nobody.
friends said when I asked him once, "Are you going to go to the parade?" And he said, "No. Why should I parade with things like that?" Yeah.
Yeah,
He said that's something personal. And
yeah,
I don't want to show it off to people or anything like that. So yeah, yeah, none of them actually like that things. So not even the things with the one of them likes superheroes a lot, and he watches the movies again. He doesn't like when they do that with superheroes. He doesn't care if Captain America is secretly in love with Bucky or stuff like that because yeah,
because it's
bullcrap.
dumb.
So yeah,
It's
really,
dumb.
actually, if you ask most of people like that who are actually sane people, they will say no. I don't want to see that. I don't need to see that, and they're fully aware that they are not just disorientation. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's just part of them, but not all who they are.
yeah, because by that logic, if we are Great expression.
If we
Yeah. So, we are heterosexual. Can I say that?
yeah.
Because I don't know what I can say anymore.
Well,
But yeah, so we are that, and by that logic, we should do a heterosexual parade?
yeah, exactly. I mean, should we do that? Because that's again something that is a part of who we are or whatever. I mean, uh, most of the time I don't even want to parade around without that I'm a comic book fan, because I mean I do know that I'm that, but that's not just that's only one part.
Yeah.
If we uh, just forget about that here that's a cower and all the other things. I mean, we just need to be full people, not just a cower,
Jesus.
orientation, or even paintings and all that. So should we parade about everything?
No,
No.
I think that parades are actually something like a twisted ego thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Probably
you wanna
with
show off.
with gigantic floats.
Yeah. You wanna do the ultimate of showing off,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
So I don't think it comes with like the best possible virtues in mind. It's more like just an ego thing, really.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
kind of another
exactly.
topic, but this whole wokeness these days, it's all it is a parade, basically. It's all look at me, I'm this, you have to
Yeah,
accept
you
it.
have to accept it.
You must,
You
you're
have to,
obligated, I'm
yeah,
entitled, you're obligated,
exactly. You must
and
bend
yeah.
around that, and that's it. If you don't like it, you're this and that. Yeah.
It's like being a Nazi. And it's ridiculous how close it is. And if those people could hurt just regular normal people, they would. I have no doubt about that, especially after reading some of the things that I read these days on Twitter. And fight me, let's go, you and me right now. He's kidding, he's kidding. Hi, Batik, I too.
Hi, Matt.
Yeah, we do their called military parades. Yeah, we also have military parades, but they're once again like saying, "Oh, we are so proud of our military and so on, and here are our tanks and here are our stuff." And
Yes.
sometimes it doesn't feel that it's really coming from a good place. It's still an ego thing.
Yeah.
You can call it okay, it's pride, but the pride is still an ego thing. It's literally what
Exactly.
the ego
Exactly.
is.
Yes. Exactly.
So there's that. I'm trying to see some of the things that I watched on Twitter. I don't know where they disappeared, but I did read one particular thing coming from some person on Twitter that she or he, I'm not sure what, is trying to like defend. Oh yes,
Ah, yeah.
here
Here
it
we go.
is. So it is Damon Faye Shea who says, honestly, I really hope that chuds really do just make their own game to all flock to as a safe space. To all flock to as a safe space. The lore of that game setting wouldn't be effing hilarious to read. Like, what is this?
What is that? Yeah.
What is
What is this
this?
supposed to be?
Sometimes these people are so weirdly expressing themselves. And what is this new way of saying cis? Like, what is cis het white man? Basic human decency, just a castle. And there's like, this is a meme or a picture, and then on the right side it's like clouds and darkness, and it says obsessive nostalgia for a time and place that never existed, that drives you to protect the purity of things that don't matter at the expense of anyone who isn't you, instead of dealing with your problems. What is this? I mean, especially the argument about it doesn't matter this or it doesn't matter that.
Yeah.
They just, why are you trying to change it
Then,
then?
if it doesn't matter, yeah, why are we changing
If
it
you
in the
don't care
first
about it,
place?
if you don't
Yeah.
respect it, you don't respect it for like for nothing. Why are you trying to change it? Why are you so
Yeah.
aggressive towards it? And you don't respect that people love it for what it is. And what does it mean? Nostalgia for time and place that never existed? That doesn't make any sense. On the
Nothing of
contrary,
this makes any sense, yeah.
we all fell in love with something of
Mm,
our favorite universes, in this case Warhammer, that does exist, that it is there. And stuff like custodies that we know that they are male, that's established. There's so many things for 30 plus years in the lore that didn't change. Not everyone in 40k changed. The custodies did evolve, became something more than they originally were, but they were still guys and they were still badass. Now they're just more badass. So they evolved in the lore. They didn't completely change. For example, the custodians. I'm talking about things in general. And the space marines have to be male space marines. And here's what, damn it, where did that go? Okay. Here is what Carol Benjamin or Sargon of Akkad said. And listen to this because it's just brilliant. It's so simple and it's brilliant. So he said, the reason there shouldn't be female space marines is because the space marines are representation of men, not women.
yes, yes, exactly.
Yes,
Genius. Yeah,
yes.
that's
And
it.
absolutely, that is right on the head. You hit it, Sargon of Akkad, you brilliant man, you. But
It's the emperor speaking now to you,
yes,
right?
yes. But there we go, guys. There's something else though I wanted to point out here. Yes, female space marines are this male space. Sorry, space marines are a representation for men. That is great, but here's the thing, guys. We shouldn't even think about representation in general because
Yeah,
we never did before,
we never did
and
that
everything
before.
was fine.
Yeah,
Every universe had men and women, and they had their own roles, and they were. Well, sometimes, female roles were not the best roles ever, but then, you can always think about female character that is good without taking away from the male characters. And that did happen. But like beyond that, we don't need to actually think about representation because after we do, everyone will start pulling the rug towards their own direction. And we can also say, oh, why aren't there Eastern Europeans in everything that we are watching all the
yeah, yeah.
time? All the games and everything that we are consuming has to have Eastern Europeans, and even better, just put everyone, I mean, in everything Bulgarians. Like, why? Why? That
Yeah.
will just make things absolutely meaningless, and it will no longer be about the story or the quality of anything because you're just trying to check boxes. So there should not be a particular representation about anything. There just should be good stories. That is it. And if the story that I want to write is about the freaking sock that is alive and it's just going
Exactly.
on its
Yes.
way somewhere, and we don't know if the sock is a male or female or whatever, that's fine. That's my story. There's freaking games about a guy made from like a piece of cloth or something. I forgot exactly what it was. And you're just walking around with this thing and you're playing with this thing.
Sock boy.
Sock boy?
Was it sock boy?
Oh yeah, I was actually thinking
Yeah.
about something else, but
Ah,
it's the
okay.
same thing almost. Yeah. So yeah, so you have that, and you don't care about what this is. Okay, it's called a boy. He's a boy. Who cares?
Whatever. Who cares if the sock is whatever? We
Yeah.
never cared, but is the sock Bulgarian? But what color is the sock? And
Should I include a black sock in the game? Should I include an
yeah,
Asian sock? Should I include a horse there? What about representation of horses, dogs, and tigers? Can it be just for and about the sock? If I want
yeah,
to write the story, where is representation then? Why there should be any representation? You know, I mean, naturally, people from different cultures will create stories about their own culture. That's natural.
yeah.
Everyone would do that at some point. I wouldn't, actually. I would create stories about Egypt and maybe America or something, because that's the things that I love. I don't have to gravitate towards my own freaking culture. As much
Yes.
as old and epic it is, that's great, but I don't gravitate towards it when it comes to creative feelings, creative, whatever you can call it, inspiration.
Mm,
So I would create stories about something else that I love and respect.
yeah.
Okay.
When I created some comic book characters, I never named them with Bulgarian names or things like that because to me it always kind of sounded not on place, and I didn't feel it like that. I never put them. Okay, now the main point of action is going to be in Bulgaria or things like that. No, I never did that actually. When I was creating something like a character, they even asked me once, would you consider if the main spot is Bulgaria? And I said no. I said no, I don't want to do things that is in that happen in Bulgaria, because to me it kind of sounds not okay. Always, I don't need it. There were some Bulgarian fantasy books that I read that actually they decided one of the everything to happen in Sofia, our capital. And while I was reading it, I said, man, this is kind of boring. I already live here. Sure,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter that there were some dragons and other things that happened there, but you're reading all the Bulgarian names, which you can see and hear every time they say some streets that you know, and they say, and on that street, actually, there is a secret magician temple or something like that. And I say, okay, but I still don't feel it. So it doesn't supposed to be like that. No one needs it. Of course, I mean, there some people who are going to like it, sure, but
And now
that doesn't mean that we all need that.
you're actually a fan of Japanese culture and you
Yeah.
wanted to see a Japanese man in Assassin's
I
Creed.
I was excited to see that, yeah. I mean, because they said it's going to be in Japan, and I said, so Japanese people, right? I mean, yeah,
And you
it,
don't
it
have to be
it's
Japanese.
not like they said we're going to no. So it's not like they said that oh, we're doing a Shogun TV show, and instead of Japanese people in the show, you're going to see I mean, don't know, Africans or something like that. No, I mean, let it be what it is,
Yeah.
you know.
Things are what they are, they're
Yeah,
just what they are. Yeah.
exactly.
What
Yeah.
the heck is happening is that okay. Okay, I
But
just
we
wanna
get to that
read
topic, yeah.
one more thing before we go to the Assassin's Creed topic. And Matty says Disney is putting out a documentary about LGBTQ in nature. They are saying animals are homosexual. Yes, it is narrated and created by LGBTQ animal experts to prove this to us that it's all nature for us. So get used to it.
Mhm.
I dare them to go up to a honey badger and call it gay. Oh my gosh, I have two male pit bulls. They don't want rainbow rainbow top. They want to kill each other. Can someone tell me what they're attacking about? Trench Crusade? Well, Rezo, I mean, the topic is very long, but basically the beginning, you gotta go back, watch
Yeah,
the
go
stream
back
from
to
the
the beginning of the
beginning
stream, yes.
when we are done. But real quick, because it's really a lot. So at the beginning, people thought that the game is based and it's not woke, but then it turns out that the game developers put their own Discord server into the hand of a company called 28 Mac, and the company is super mega woke, and they were banning left and right people that were there for 40k. I mean, people that are refugees from 40k and thought that the game is okay, and they were having a horrible attitude towards everyone all the time and tried to, and not actually tried to, but blocked pretty much everyone that talked about absolutely anything, no matter if they tried to be on the nose for them or not. So uh if you are left leaning, they will block you. No, no, the opposite. If you are left leaning, you're good. Something like that. I don't know the American terms for all the politics. But basically, if you're woke, you're okay. If you're not woke, you're not okay. And so far, we haven't really seen a lot from the studio themselves. If you were, I mean, if you did, just let me know. I'm gonna further investigate this anyway. But so far, there's just one comment from a developer that I saw, and it said that the game is a fictional world. We should not interject real life politics, and that's absolutely correct. But then, besides that, that was the only thing that was like a glimpse of hope. But then the 28 Mac continued. There was something about Trench Crusade getting their own Discord server. And hopefully, if they do that, we'll actually see if they're moderating how things are going to be. Is that going to be any different? Are they really promoting woke things? There's some teams in the game itself that have some Christians, some Muslim stuff in them. It's just such a mess. So that's what we can say really fast. But you can just go at the beginning. and see. But yeah, people were just hopeful at the beginning that this is going to be like a non-woke thing, but it turns out that so far it isn't. If the studio are supporting people like 28 Mac, and they essentially kill their customer base. Yeah, progressive, liberal, Democrat, especially since the larger one just disenfranchised a lot of the company. Yeah, so basically, if the game developer does what they should, then it's okay to support, but if not, they don't get our money. Cool. Yeah, something like that. So let's see their true faces. Let's wait this out, guys.
I wonder if they did the same thing to other tabletop properties like Dungeons and Dragons, or didn't they do something like that with BattleTech, or I don't know.
I think that they got Dungeons and Dragons, but I only
Yeah.
heard about that, so I can't really
Yeah.
tell you details.
Yeah.
Okay, so this person, she has the LGBTQ flag, but not the original flag. She has like the worst one, the one that we all dread
Yeah.
with all of our being. So that is already very, very bad. So she or he, I don't know, also said every time another one of you crybaby bitches says some transphobic shit to me and then say it's because you think I want to change something about the fucking product you enjoy, I'm going to make it my life's mission to actually change something you hold dear.
Wow.
Wow. If that's not evil, guys, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
You gotta be
That's absolutely
mental. You
evil.
gotta have mental illness to talk like this to other people. We just want to enjoy our things.
Yeah.
Those things can help with your actually mental health. The things we love, the entertainment, everything
Yeah.
that we love
Hobbies and all the other stuff. Yeah.
can help with just having to like go and for me even to paint my miniatures, although they will never touch a tabletop probably. I love to be creative and paint my custodies, paint my action figures. Actually, I'm going to show you. There's a Batman here. There's a Batman that I'm doing
There
right
is a
now.
Batman.
And I can tell ya that this Batman, this is from the Arkham games, this Batman, painting anything for me is really a stress relief. I'm resting my brain. I don't have to think about anything. I'm just painting. So the idea here, he was all black. And I painted his chest silver, his belt silver, his muscles. I don't know how you can see this. Yeah, like this. That was my idea. A bit of his boots. Nothing is finished yet. Some of his eyes. His eyes. Yeah, you can't really see this way, but yeah, made his eyes actually smaller. Although they look like they're not smaller, but you can't really see his mouth, but it's all good there. So yeah, this Batman is just a regular freaking Batman. It's a Mattel action figure. It's a great figure, but it's just all black. And I love all black Batman, but he can be a bit improved. And I just love these types of Batman costumes where they have different like
He kind of
colors
reminds me
on
of
them.
that George Clooney suit in the end of the movie, by the way, now that I think about it.
He's
But
the
then,
Las Vegas Rider Batman now? No. No, he's not. He's just one of the Arkham games Batman. Okay, and that's an old figure, actually. I have that for a few years, basically, I think. Okay, never mind that. So, somebody replied, we don't want you to leave. You should stay and be welcome in the hobby. Just don't go trying to change it or pushing to change it when you don't know huge chunks of lore. Just play the game and do your minis. No honest. What does it mean, no honest?
maybe he meant no honesty, or
Uh-huh.
that he really means that,
Uh-huh.
probably.
Okay, that is great, but I don't know why are you trying to reason with a crazy
No, you
person?
can't. That's clearly a crazy person. If she has nothing else to do with her life but devoting it to change something you hold dear, so that you take it away from us, or things that I
That
mean,
just like the last
that's
episode
just
of X-Men. X-Men trying to reason
basically,
with
yeah,
the freaking, how was this guy
yeah,
name?
Bastion.
Bastion, trying
Yeah,
to reason with the guy that his whole being
yeah.
is full with hate towards mutants, and he is willing to destroy even humanity, which is contradicting himself, to kill all mutants. So he is literally the epitome of
Well,
contradiction and stupidity.
because deep inside he's actually that sentinel robot that has a programmed in the old cartoons. When they ask the main sentinel, but you can't destroyed humans, you're programmed to destroy only mutants, and he said that's illogical. Humans are mutants. So for him,
Oh my
or
god.
mutants are human. Was it something like? Because a long time I haven't seen that episodes, but yeah,
And they will mutate
and they will
eventually,
eventually.
and
So
people will
yeah,
have mutant babies.
yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
Yes. Good show that one. With only just two woke elements inside, which are, thank God, not so pronounced for now. But I do hope that it will stay like that in season 2. You know, I don't want also X-Men to be messed up.
Yay.
Since we don't need that. They clearly show that they can make a good show. Have the inclusion and everything. Just don't push it in our faces, and still manage to have a good show.
Yes. And lastly, this person says, and underneath her, of course, somebody wrote the irony of you calling other people crybabies.
Yeah.
Yes, because she's literally
Exactly. Yeah.
crybabying. And now what she wrote here is just, I mean, everything that she writes is disgusting. He or she, once again. But this is even more disgusting. So listen to this, guys. Get a lot of this. I don't understand men only spaces. Like for women, having spaces for just women kind of makes more sense to me because there's an implied necessity of using it for safety, but I can't really understand the need that a lot of cis-het guys express for hanging with only men. So there's a lot of that we can impact here.
Yeah.
First, women getting their own spaces, necessity of using it for safety. What?
What?
I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, if a few women get together, if they're not all like me in terms of physical capabilities and having some idea how to defend themselves, they wouldn't do anything, unfortunately. So it's not like safety that much, really. So that's kind of like not a very good argument to throw in there. It's like it's irrelevant. People just want to get together.
Yeah.
That's not the main
Exactly.
point.
That's not the
We are
point.
not living in a war zone. You have to protect yourself. You have to, be careful where you go and who you're going to in other people's houses and so on. Of course, that's common sense, but that's not like the idea of why we are getting together. I personally don't have any desires to get together with girls at all. I don't care about those things because first I don't have time. Second, girls that are my age are ridiculous.
Yeah.
A lot of the times they're just I don't know, very immature, let's say, in many ways. So we really don't have anything in common. They're not geeks like me. They don't know the first thing that I'm talking about all the geeky things that I like. So we I have no have nothing to do with them
Yeah.
basically.
I mean, what would you do in a space like that, as we say it, or even if it's only women, but most of them are toxic idiots still.
Yeah.
What to do there?
So that's very
Yeah.
generalizing everyone
Yeah.
and everything. And then is the issue that she does not understand why men need to get together. Yes, some men, when they get together, it's just a lot of bullcrap going
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah. So I also don't have that wish of be with because again most men in Bulgaria also don't understand the things I talk about when I start things about comic
Yeah.
books or things like that. For them it's cars and football, which are two things that I don't like.
Yeah.
So what would I do with people like that? I mean, it's not okay. I mean, cars, football, and I was wondering, wasn't there a third thing? But no, usually that's it.
13, what?
I was wondering if there is a third thing that they can usually talk, but no, these are two things, and
A third thing.
yes, yeah,
Uh-huh.
I can listen to if it's a person who is really talking interestingly about that thing, like our friend from Super Heroes Bulgaria, Peter, who likes cars, and when he talks about it, it sounds interesting, and I say, okay, yeah, now it's interesting because you kind of know how to give me the topic. In that case, okay, but still, I wouldn't do this in a typical, let's say, male company, which most of them also is going to be drinking, shouting, and all things like that. Just, yeah.
And yeah, dropping mugs on the floor and saying another.
Yes, yeah.
Like Thor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Actually, that's not an over exaggeration sometimes when
yeah,
it
yeah,
comes
yeah,
to
yeah. Sometimes
here.
maybe
But
it's not, yeah.
anyway, the issue is, I mean, you do whatever you want, guys. You know,
Mm,
we go out with other guys, whatever you need to do. People are different, have different needs. We don't have
mm,
such needs. We just appreciate the person because of the person. We don't
yeah,
think that, oh my gosh, you're male, I'm a female. We don't care about that. We
yeah.
just care if this is a quality person. Do we have something to say to each other? And that's it, you know, the
Yeah,
most
yeah.
important part of having a friendship with someone.
Guess
And
what? When I talk with one of my gay friends about superheroes, nobody cares about the sexuality of the other. We just in that moment are two people who like comic books and we talk about that.
surprise, surprise,
Surprise,
common
yes.
sense,
Yeah.
wow.
Imagine that. Yeah.
Yeah, and me as a heterosexual person, I don't always want to watch love and lovey-dovey stuff in movies. I enjoy comedy or, you know, a romantic movie, but if that is really done with a lot of sense and
Mm,
meaning, has to be just a good story. So I don't require it, like if I was a gay person, to require a gay story all the time.
yeah.
I mean, heterosexual person does not require a love story all the time. Maybe some girls do more than others, but for the most part, just the story that matters really, and it's not really a requirement at all. That's why I don't miss that 40K is not full with
Mm-hmm.
filled with a ton of love stories, because there's a lot of other things to like about it. So I don't. Yeah, it's really not necessary.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, but what is very hurtful here, I mean, it's not only hurtful, it's ridiculously insulting to people in general, and that she cannot understand why you know, only women can have their spaces because safety. So she assuming that all women are weak, or women want to be together
Mm-hmm.
because we're weak and we
Yeah.
have to protect ourselves. We're just gonna get together like in a cave and just be like that. Oh my gosh,
Oh, no,
Susan,
no, no.
Susan, we are
There is a
here.
big man there.
We
No,
are
no.
here. We are gathered here today
Yes.
because
To
we
be
gotta
safe.
protect each other. Yeah, she's assuming that that's all that it is.
That's it.
And
Yeah.
then with guys, she assumes what? Why is she can't understand what cishet guys express for having hanging out with only men? Why not like go and do whatever? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. It all depends of people. I mean,
you're free
yeah.
people that they're those people that are talking about those things, they're just fascists, I guess. They just wanna forbid everything. Just we
Mm-hmm.
don't understand it, so we're just gonna forbid it. But it's two normal people that just wanting to have conversation or three or four, they just wanna go out and get together. Maybe they're ex-classmates. Who knows? Why?
Yeah.
Why are those people not allowed to go and do that? You know, so the entitlement here is absolutely disgusting in any case. It doesn't matter man or woman or whatever, really. And hi to Quinn in the chat. I'm
Hi,
happy that
Queen.
you're here. Love is tragic in 140k. Guardsman Andre, the love of his life dies in the fight when he thought he was going to die. Oh, it's bad. Yeah, well, there's a lot of tragic stories as well. I mean, love stories and other
Mm-hmm.
stuff too. So it's not only 40k, but at least the 40k is never overdone. Never. It's never overdone. It's very few and far in between. And there's other epic stuff that also happen. So that's fine. Now, guys, we gotta talk about the second topic. We just gotta.
Yeah.
Because we spent 44 minutes on this one. I can't believe it. But yeah. So Assassin's Creed, like we said, guys, at the beginning, if you missed it, that, you know, I have played all the games since the very freaking beginning, all the AAA games, because there's like some small games.
Are there more games? Oh,
Yeah, there's smaller games like mobile games and stuff. I haven't
ah,
played these. And then Logan had just played a little bit, but he knows about the lore,
mm.
you know, basically, and he was waiting for this particular setting
Finally in
because
Japan.
it is his favorite setting. And
Yeah.
he wanted to play exactly with a samurai who is
On a
from
ninja.
Japan. Oh, or
I
a
mean,
ninja.
I would
Great.
play and with a Japanese villager. Just to be Japanese because we are in freaking Japan, you know. So, I mean, but imagine
Imagine.
a Japanese villager who get into the clit and they train him or something like that, you know. Doesn't matter. I imagine that it would be, you know, like Ghost of Tsushima because it makes sense.
Oh,
We are
wow.
in Japan. You know, every time before I played a game which the setting is in Japan, you have you play with a Japanese person. I never thought, but where is the Bulgarian?
No,
Or why isn't there a white guy or things like that? No, I mean, I want to play with a samurai, you know.
he thinks
Yes.
Matty. Look what Matty said.
Oh, oh, thank you, Matthias. Well, we do learn about things like that, so
Yeah,
yes.
Ubisoft lost their edge around the time of after Black Flag. Well, for me personally, I have liked all the games that I've played without Unity. Unity really sucked for me. I enjoy the war element. I know that a lot of people don't like the war element. I love it. They did had some woke stuff like the freaking Odyssey where Cassandra became canon for absolutely no reason at all. She was wearing male armor, stuff like that. But
Well, she's a woman, that's the reason.
for the male armor.
Not to become the war, the main character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stupid. Spartans for men, not women. She can be there. She can be a warrior. All those things so good. You just don't cross Alexios like that. You just don't do that. Besides that, the game itself, I enjoyed the games themselves, the stories, the mechanics, all of that. There's some mechanics that always suck in Assassin's Creed, so it's not all good. But overall, they're just very engaging, interesting games. I love the setting. Greece is one of my most favorite. Egypt was my top one. So for me, for Logan is Japan. For me, it's Egypt. I enjoy some of the RPG elements as long as they are not like too many of them.
And it also was depend on the setting you play with a character that is
That fits that
fits
setting.
that
So
setting. Yeah.
Egypt, you play with Egyptian. In the Viking game, you play with the Norse
Yeah.
guy, and that is how it has been throughout the whole history of Assassin's Creed. So now they're going finally to Japan and they decide what to get Yasuke.
Yasuke, yes, it's
Yasuke,
pronounced Yasuke.
a guy that haven't even touched history that much, like literally. I mean,
Well, I mean, he
Japan,
was black. So,
Japan literally remembers the white samurai that was
the one that actually
the guy from Shogun.
John Blackthorne from Shogun,
Yes,
the show and the book is inspired by the real person. William something was his name, but he really existed. He was there. Things didn't happen exactly like in the book, but
he
book is
has a
highly
statue.
romanticized. But
The
there
guy
is
has a statue
statue
in
of him.
Japan.
Yes, he became a real samurai. He spent there many years. He actually really impressed the. I think at that time one of the warlords that he was with was Ieyasu Tokugawa. Probably don't quote me on that, but I think he was the one that actually is also the shogun in the movie is based on that in the TV show. Yes, it's based on this person who was also historically one. And where's the game with him then? Well, did anyone wanted that? I mean, I never, although he really is a big thing in Japan, because this was one of the very first gaijins, which means a foreigner to actually come into Japan and impress them so much, and he really became a real samurai. He
Yes,
was taught
really,
like that. Really
really
became a
became samurai.
samurai.
Whereas
Yes,
with
really.
Yasuke, there's just no real evidence
Yes.
because mainly, I mean, he got the armor. He was like, what was that trainee? Not trainee.
He
What was the
he
other word?
knew he was a retainer,
Yes,
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 which
yes.
pretty much means that you serve again there, but doesn't mean that you're samurai. So now some people say because Oda Nobunaga, who he worked for when he has a retainer, so all of them were samurais, but that actually is still not proven. He was doing all sorts of stuff, the Nobunaga guy.
And also, when it was about for Nobunaga
Yeah.
to die, he was supposed to perform seppuku, and that is because his actual
Actual Japanese, actual
Japanese,
with the
yeah.
actual status. He was a warlord. So all the other samurais that were caught in that fight, after that you have to perform seppuku again because that's what your honor says.
But not
But
freaking
not Yasuke.
Yasuke.
Not Yasuke. I mean, they didn't even bother to do that
Yeah.
because for them he was pretty much a nobody. Sure, okay, he was Nobunaga's bodyguard and things like that. He had a sword because if you're bodyguard, you have to wear a sword. But my God, in the game they give him one of the best swords ever. That katana there, I think it was Masamune katana, which is
Oh.
one of the best katanas, or Muramasa, one of the two things. Uh, why would you give it to him? I mean, if I'm Nobunaga, I will never give a weapon to that, a weapon
That,
like that
yeah.
to a guy that literally some Jesuits priest brought,
It was like the Ferrari of the swords
and you give him that.
back
Not
then.
even Nobunaga had one, actually, I
Oh,
think.
jeez.
So why would you of all your samurais, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's apparently a part of the game here. But yeah, so Yasuke also spent only 1 year there, unlike William, what his name was, John Blackburn. I'm going to call
He
him.
didn't even know Japanese
And
that well.
people said that that's even in the so much changed Wikipedia now, that he was speaking fluently Japanese, fluently for 1 year. People, I studied Japanese a month or so. Fluently after 1 year, no.
It's not an easy language.
Especially, yeah, especially if you come from, I think he was from Mozambique or something like that. But that's two different languages. Just like for Japanese people, it's extremely hard to speak actually proper English sometimes. Not always.
They don't even have
But
certain sounds that
they
we
don't even
have.
have certain sounds and things like that so fluently. And also how he, what was it? How he overcomes slavery and impressed Nobunaga so much. Nobunaga was impressed because he liked rare things. That was an exotic person right there.
Yeah.
1 meter 88, so or almost 90, which is
Almost 190
a giant.
for them,
If you're Japanese, for them, he had the strength of 10 men. Yes, 10 Japanese men.
probably. Kinda.
So, and it was impressive, and even Japanese people even today have that type of thinking, which is not something negative, by the way, that uh, if they have a friend who is not from Japan, they're going to show you around to other friends of Japan, so that you see, look, I know a guy from Bulgaria. That kind of looks like something negative, but it's not. They really do it out of
They were
they were
fascinated. They were fascinated.
fascinated,
He was an
exactly. Yes, he was
attraction.
an
He was an
attraction, and
attraction, yeah.
that's it.
But really, people were gathering in crowds to see him at the beginning.
Yeah,
Nobunaga wanted him to scrub his skin to check if
and to
he's
check
really
if he's really
black.
black.
He was so black that nobody could believe it. So
Yeah,
actually, this guy right here behind me, he's not that black. They could have made him more black, but anyway,
yeah.
that's not kind
So
of the
yeah,
point.
he had a small land that Nobunaga gave him. He had a stipend that some retainers also got. He was carrying a weapon around, but
He was
again,
like in one fight or
it
something.
yeah, in one battle in which after that he stayed alive. There was a sumo wrestler, a young sumo wrestler that was 19 years old or something. Nobunaga used to love wrestling a lot, and he also impressed him with his wrestling skills. He also made him a samurai, gave him all the other things. He died in that battle. He had to perform seppuku. Yasuke, no.
No,
So no.
so for me, that's like the biggest proof that he was
Yeah,
not an actual
it was
samurai.
not that much of a big deal
And
actually,
even
you know.
back then, this word samurai was not established yet, the
Yeah.
way that we think that it is.
Yeah,
But
we know the very romanticized version of that. Actually, giving samurai hood, there was kind of like giving a knighthood today. I mean, I knight thee, Sir Elton John. I have never seen Elton John with an armor and a sword, right?
no,
So yeah, that was kind of like again a, a thing.
a thing. But still,
He
they didn't respect him that
that
much for
much,
him to perform
yeah, yeah,
seppuku. You
and
know,
that
lucky for him, not a lucky
especially at
guy.
that time, as we say, to be a foreigner, I think the thing that actually saved him was because he came with the Jesuits that were there already. Nobunaga liked that because he was famous for actually like Western things and the Western way, and he was ready to change his thinking and use things like that, not to be just tradition and stuff. He even gave them money for a Christian temple and things like that. He was with them. He saw him. He decided that there is rare. I like it. I want to have something like that. So here we go, and that's it. He didn't overcome slavery. He did not learn fluent English. He did not learn how to fight as a samurai. I mean, he knew how to fight, but not as a samurai. You can't do that for 1 year.
He fled, and nobody knows where he is.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, there's no like solid proof that he was ever on the same status that were the other people that are considered to be samurai. And still, like we said, this word was not established as we
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
about it today, so it's different. But for sure, whatever they thought that Yasuke was, he wasn't on their level. So that's for sure. I think
That's
that's
for
for
sure,
sure.
yes.
Because otherwise he would have died and forced to perform seppuku
Yeah.
on that fight. But instead he just fled and nobody ever saw him
And if
ever.
he actually really understand and like the way so much, even if they told him you don't have to perform seppuku, just go away, he was actually going to do it. Yeah, which means that he, did not accept himself and also was a real samurai, if you ask me.
Yeah,
Otherwise, yeah.
and just accept this culture that was
Yeah,
pretty
that's it.
freaking
I mean,
brutal.
oh, they're going to give me some money. Oh, and some land. I have to walk around this short guy here. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
And
much.
nobody knew about him actually, I think about 2 or 3 years ago when Netflix again did this anime like thing. I hate when they call it anime, but anyway, thingy about him. And it was again the Black Samurai, and they did all of that because they caught the thing that, oh, there was a black guy there, we can use that.
Guys, I just so wanna address your comment, but I just don't wanna forget my thought. So, most important thing here, guys, after that we established that this guy
Yes.
was not a samurai for real. The next thing, that is the most important thing, is to freaking note that they were supposed to make a game with a Japanese protagonist. Is that so freaking hard? And yes, we have the girl that is a female ninja that actually existed, and that's
Yes.
all good and that's all fine. But the other guy should have been a freaking Asian. I mean,
Yes.
Japanese, sorry, Japanese. So we understood, we found out this article that IGN actually were like, what is this Asian representation? They don't need more Asian representation. What is that?
There were already many games with samurais that are Japanese, apparently. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense.
It doesn't freaking matter. That's not an argument. You can't say there are too many people with Japanese in them because it doesn't matter. If you're making a game about Japan, your main character should be from Japan. He
Yes,
should be
exactly.
Japanese in
We
every
expect
freaking
that.
sense of the word because that is how it was with all the other Assassin's Creed games, and that is what makes sense. Now, some people said that, oh my gosh, Edward from Black Flag is not supposed to be there because the game takes place at the Caribbean, but guys, the people, I mean, the pirates were, some European guys back then.
Yeah.
Literally, they were. So he is exactly where he should be. It doesn't matter that he is at the Caribbean. People travel, people go places, like Yasuke, yes,
Yeah.
but in this case, he was who? I mean, he was like the pirates of that time, who they were supposed to be. So he had the right origin to be there in that particular setting. So it's
Exactly.
all good. It's fine. There's nothing out of place here. So if you're making a game for Japan, the only thing that had to be done, like they originally wanted, by the
You
way,
had one job.
you had one job, yeah, to put a Japanese man into the freaking armor and do Assassin's Creed game. That's the only thing that they could have done. And then later, if you want to have a fictional story, fictional imaginative, what's imaginative? Jesus, new word. Fictional idea of who Yasuke was or wasn't, you can make another game, like a
Yeah,
spin-off.
yeah.
Do that. Do
Yeah,
that.
I
There will be
mean,
no harm done. Do
show
that.
him in a corner here in that game that he was there with Nobunaga and then say, okay, now a spin-off with that guy. But there were so many other, if they wanted real historical people, there were so many real historical samurais in that era, doing things there. Why not one of them? No, where is the representation now? I
Yeah,
mean,
there was even one female samurai,
yeah, there was one
like
female
one
samurai
one
long
and
time ago.
only.
Yeah,
It was an absolutely amazing case, and
yeah.
nobody is doing anything
Nobody's
about
doing
that.
anything about that, yeah. But they did this guy that was there also for a year, and they decided to make a big deal about it. So,
Yeah.
and completely ignoring, they could also use some mythological Japanese people who are, they have myths about, characters who are there in that era. You can use in that too, just to be Japanese because that's what people expected.
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel better if it was actually, that game, and instead of Yasuke, it was William, that British guy that was there. Because again, it's Japan. I want to play with an actual samurai. He was actual samurai, but I wanted Japanese samurai there. So,
He should be a Japanese
you know,
samurai.
should be.
So you
there
can
should be.
make a spin-off with Willem as well.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
know,
that's the
I
correct thing.
like, for example, yeah, that's it. I like things like movies like American Ninja, you know, but I always wanted to see a Japanese ninja in those movies, and then I had to watch Japanese movies about that. But to me, it was always that's cool and all. This guy really learned how to be a ninja and all the other things. But the
Yeah.
Japanese, please,
Just
yes,
first make it with the Japanese guys, that's so
yes,
hard. Then do the DLCs like
yeah,
Layton said, just do a DLCs, whatever spin-off
exactly,
game,
yeah,
whoever,
yeah,
whatever. You know, just
yeah.
do the
And
first thing that you
then
have to do.
imagine you have more money because now you have nothing to then you have more money. You make a good game, then you make DLC with Yasuke. Some people will buy it, or with William, and then more money.
You know, if
Everybody's
they
happy.
were to just make this game originally with a Japanese person like they should have done, nobody would complain.
Yeah,
There will be no
yeah,
backlash. People are going to buy the game because I doubt that
exactly.
the woke crowd are gonna complain that a Japanese man is a Japanese man in a
Yeah,
Japanese
yeah.
game. Now they're complaining because we already have a black guy in the main role. But if we didn't, I don't think they will complain about that because in the same vein they can just go and complain about, the other game, Ghost of
Ghost of
Tsushima.
Tsushima, yes.
They could just
Yeah,
go and complain about that guy, but they didn't
yeah.
because they understood somehow with the lack of brain that there was about this time, this period, and this happened on this island of
Mm-hmm.
Tsushima, and so they cannot complain about that. Well, actually, they did complain that the game lacked diversity overall.
It's
So
in Japan.
because they're mental and they're crazy, so they want to have diversity in Japan back in those
Back
days.
in those days, when if you're actually a foreigner, you could die on spot.
Yeah,
I mean, what are we doing? Fantasy stories now, or what? Yeah.
yeah, like
So
what the heck? I mean, if you're doing a movie about ancient Bulgaria, and if you put one person that's not white, you're crazy. There was no one
no
here.
one here. Yeah.
Then freaking us. And by the way, I mean, there were Greeks, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
depending on which time, because we are next to Greece. But before that, we actually come from Asia. We literally come from
Yeah.
Asia, all of
Imagine
us,
that. Yeah.
white people, you know. So we come from some deep, I don't know, I mean, it's a mystery, but we do know that we come from part of Asia,
Mm.
like the deep parts, like I forgot.
Geography.
Yes,
Geography.
I mean, like the upper parts, but it's just not towards Japan, but towards the winter parts. That's what I wanted to
Yeah.
say. Anyway, so we come somewhere from there, but nobody knows how and why we come from there.
Yeah.
But we came here, we fought, we established a huge country at some point in the year of
81.
1681. And we had 3 seas. We spread on 3 freaking seas. We were like an empire. But then a lot of things happened. We lost the land and we were under Ottoman slavery for 500 years.
And
And
Byzantium before that, 200.
oh, great. So white people
So,
under slavery. Great.
yeah.
Yay, yay, yay.
So, I
Uh,
guess we have to expect now Assassin's Creed Bulgaria, but full of all sorts of other people except Bulgarians.
yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
mean, now if you make a movie about Bulgaria today, you should put on the street some Chinese people. You
Yeah.
should put on the street some black people, although very few and far in between, like
Mm.
one in the whole movie. But if you like go through some streets, you'll see Chinese restaurants and maybe a Chinese person going
Yeah.
going here and there. That's gonna be mostly it. You can see some Muslim women, like one every 1 2 years
Yeah.
somewhere. So maybe put one there, for like true diversity or something. But if you go any further than that, you're crazy because that's not what Bulgaria is today. And if you go back in the past, you will only see how white people are fighting with other white people
Yeah.
throughout Asia and towards Europe, and and until we settled here, and that's it. So that's the point. And now I just want to go through some of your comments.
Well, was it actually before that? Was it again in the IGN when we saw that in their article that they said that white men and Japanese people,
That
Japanese people
look
are
the
white
same
men
or something.
are the
Yeah.
same? Yeah. So
I mean, how racist can you be, freaking IGN? Like,
yeah,
what are
I
you
mean,
saying? What are you saying? You're crazy. So let me see, let me see. There is something amazing here. If you have money in England, they give you the third title of knighthood.
absolutely,
Yeah, which
yes,
doesn't mean anything by this point.
absolutely. So the same thing was with Yaski.
Okay, Spawn coolest black character. Actually, I had an idea that we should put together a list of movies before 2016. So from the
We
80s,
start with the 80s, yeah.
yeah, from 2016 with all the black characters, Spawn, Iron, what was that guy, Shaquille O'Neal's character?
Steel,
Steel,
yes. Blade,
Blade, the Men in Black characters,
yeah.
what
Passenger
else?
57 with worthless knives.
Yeah,
If you
the
know that
funny
one,
movies with Eddie Murphy, all of that,
yeah,
just put it like in a list to prove how many diversity and black representation there was without any effort, just because people are talented, stories for whatever they were, some good, some not, but still there were movies producing, making those movies all the time. Eddie Murphy, legend. Will Smith, a legend. Think about him negatively or positively. He did contribute
still
a
is a
ton,
legend, yeah.
not only because he made the movie I Am a Legend. He had so many movies. I Am Robot, like
Yeah, yeah.
crazy how many movies that guy has. More movies than most white actors will ever have. Will Smith has. And so if we put together this list, we were totally going to prove what the heck, what is this
Yeah,
about
yeah.
not having a
Mm,
representation? What are you talking about? Without pushing anything, there was everything there already. Okay. Okay, I want to not miss something in particular. Hold on, guys, because it's very late. We gotta go, but I gotta address something. Yeah, but Assassin's Creed is not just gameplay, setting and story paramount to its survival. Yes, a black man cannot
exactly.
represent the spirit of samurai. That honors the right of Japanese. Exactly,
Yes.
yeah, Kaito. And when they screw with it, things go bad. Straight white men at the bull now. We are the enemy of everything. You can have a hero as long as it isn't a man and white and straight or Christian. Just so
Yes.
dumb these
Just ask
things.
Doctor Who. And everything
Yeah.
that happened with him. No way.
It would be like a Japanese man playing the role of an African warrior. Oh, yes. And now everyone, I mean, not everyone, but some people said that, this Resident Evil game, I don't know which one.
I think it was 5. Let's say, yeah.
Okay, so the main character,
I was going to say the one with the zombies, but then Epic Games with the zombies.
sorry guys, relate. So the main character, what was his name?
Uh,
Damn
Chris
it.
Redfield?
Yes, Chris.
Yes.
So he's shooting black zombies in Africa because he went to a mission in Africa. Imagine that. Oh my gosh, it's a continent. The guy went there to a
Oh,
mission
oh.
and he's shooting black zombies. Why are there black zombies? Because they're in Africa. So maybe, just maybe, he's going to meet some black people. And oh my gosh, the virus is there. They became zombies like everyone
Mm.
else. And he's killing them. And that is racist. No. No freaking no. Are you telling me that black people cannot be zombies? Are you trying to
No, no.
take that right away from them? What are you saying?
They're immune to
You're
everything.
racist.
But was it going to be better if the main hero was a black person who kills white zombies?
Yeah,
Then it's not racism, or what?
this is
Or
that
if
then
it
it's
was
awesome.
if it was a black man killing the black zombies,
Oh,
then what?
because that never happens in real
No,
life.
no, no,
No,
no,
I
no,
mean black people killing other
no,
black
no,
people.
no,
That never happens. No,
no.
no, no. We only hear a lot of stories and their statistics like that long and more of that long,
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. So also when they started, the historical accuracies in each game really gave them credibility, which was lost after Black Flag. I absolutely love the touches of Da Vinci within the Exo led games. Yes, well, a lot of fantasy there as well. So they don't have to keep the story for real. They just have to keep some elements real to give it some kind of a, true to life vibes.
Mhm.
But in any case, that doesn't excuse what they did here. Okay, so. Um, they probably thought it was some type of ogre or something,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a European square exactly. Um, they uh, they hand that shit out Like, can they? And something amazing that Quinn said. So, no worries, Logan. I'm sure there will be an Assassin's Creed mate in South Africa. She will be a white Zulu named Karen.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. And how about some tribes actually painting their faces white or something? I think I saw that somewhere.
Yeah. There are
If
some of
not the
them
Zulu,
that
someone
do that.
else. How about going over to them and telling them that they're culturally appropriating anything?
Yeah. I mean,
Let's see how that will go.
let's make Black Panther 3 with Hiroyuki Sanada in the main.
Perfect.
Yeah, by this point.
Okay, and Clayton says, exactly, why can Japanese men be represented and have a character in Assassin's Creed game set in
Yeah,
Japan? Yes, dear Clayton, but as well, like I said, it doesn't matter the representation itself. It matters to put things
as they
like
should be.
where they should be.
Yeah.
So there's going to be representation of everyone if you only make stories about certain things anyway. If you make a game about Japan, there should be a Japanese man there.
Yeah.
Simple as that. There's a Japanese woman samurai that's awesome, and you can also put her
You
in
can
the
also
game.
put
It's
that,
gonna be
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
You know, Japanese woman, or this case, in this case, she's a ninja. That's fine. But why not put the actual historical figure that people don't know that she existed? And that's amazing. Just use that this time and combine it with the
With the
fantasy
story, the
elements.
setting, the fantasy
It's
elements,
gonna
yeah,
be
yeah.
great.
Yes.
But no. But Sweet Baby Ink will complain. Yeah, they are just terrible. And something else that I read somewhere. I hope I don't miss it, guys. Hold on. Hold on, it was amazing. Okay, here it is. Killen, thank you for this. Thank you for this. So Killen said, I'm so glad Netflix let me know Cleopatra was black.
Right.
Yes.
Because let's not forget the grandmother of one of the people that told her that no matter what they taught you in school,
Cleopatra was
was
black.
black. Always. Was always black. Yes.
Yeah,
And then
because
another
your
guy.
grandma is great historical source.
Exactly, yes.
She's not biased at all.
And then another guy said, I would imagine that she looked like me with the curly hair and I say,
Why?
I would imagine that I'm a samurai then, but I would imagine myself looking Japanese. You know?
Great.
So
I would imagine I would just rewrite history and I
right,
would
yes,
imagine that pigs fly.
sure. Who says that they can't let flying pigs be represented? You know, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
we actually, I don't think we did together or I did alone. I think I did alone. Maybe something we did too.
About flying pigs.
About Cleopatra. Flying pigs always.
Didn't you deal with Kit or about that or?
Ah, as well with Kid.
Or
Yeah.
maybe, yeah.
Yes.
So many videos, yes.
So you haven't seen my black Cleopatra coverage, you gotta see it. You gotta see it because I was just shocked and freaking appalled. Like literally, the woman was Greek. Her whole family was Greek. You can see how
She did not
her
knew
father
that.
looked like in his statues, Ptolemy. They're all freaking white, and they wanted to actually inbreed to remain as pure as possibly they can be. And whatever evidence that they presented was absolutely not an evidence. It was nothing. And the fact that something was missing in the tree or something like that doesn't prove anything. We actually have Zaki Hawaz, the guy that usually covers Egypt for many, many years. He actually discovered like a small head of Cleopatra now, I think, around this documentary last year. And before that, of course, we have a few busts of Cleopatra. So they all match. They all look like the same woman, you know. And it's just a white Greek woman with kind of Greek features that are very definitive Greek features. Because they are particular. I mean, like all black people have their own genes, and they all look actually different. The same with all the other races. So Greek people have their own features. Bulgarians, we have our own genes and features and so on. So it just looks like a white Greek woman, and that's it.
That's it.
She wasn't half Egyptian. She wasn't 5%. She was just freaking Greek woman. That is it. So to make her black, it is like, what is the equivalent of heresy?
That's it.
What is the equivalent of just atrocity committed towards all humankind because trying, you know, to deceive them and to rewrite history. What's the word for that? I don't know. But yeah, such things are absolutely disgusting. Now, if they actually made a movie about Boudicca or Boudica recently with Olga Emelianenko, what's
Ku-
it?
Kurylenko?
Kurilenko,
Taskmaster.
the
Yeah,
same.
so Olga Kurylenko, yes.
And I'm glad that they kept, at least for what I've seen. I don't want to watch the movie because I know the story, and it's very hard to watch. But at least they kept all the, all the people there white as they were, and she is not black, thankfully. But yeah, make a movie about a very famous whoever character. In this case, it's just female character. That's female real historical person that actually did something very interesting, both Caesar and all of that. It's oh damn it. Oh, okay. I thought that I hit goalie or something, but it was just one of my chair legs. Anyway, so yeah, just wanted to say that. So now we have a great opportunity with this Ona Bugesha, the female samurai
Yeah,
Kellen. Thank you
yeah.
for that. And we don't have her.
Oh, oh.
Clayton says, indeed, they could have made his character a famous Japanese samurai. Yeah, because why? Not no-brainer. He also says Japanese, Chinese, Korean people are white is part of the critical race theory by which your operation level is determined by your stereotypical financial presumption in American public. What? Like, it's crazy. Oh, yes, and they
Yeah.
have freaking Chinese lantern in the game.
Oh, yeah,
Lanterns.
yeah, yeah.
Don't forget about that.
Yes, exactly. They have lanterns there, which means that. I mean, how did they do all the armors and elements on it, absolutely historically correctly, but then in the architecture you put the Chinese lanterns, which Japanese people never had. That
Right.
Chinese thing, I mean, what does it do there?
I mean,
Yeah.
if that's
So,
not insulting
yeah,
to make this
yeah.
game for years, because all the Ubisoft games, all the Assassin's Creed games, they're made for years and years and years, and each studio are making like another game and another game, like kind of like in the same time almost. And sometimes it is in the same time. Different studios do participate, but the point is, for so many years of this game's development, nobody thought to check those
No,
things.
no. They just check,
What?
oh, wait, there was a black guy there who was a returner. Well, we're just going to make him the best samurai ever. So, but he spent there 1 year, the best samurai ever. No, no,
And like I always like to point out this example from my childhood, but there are new people here, so I'm gonna say it again. So yeah, guys, back when I played James Bond, one of the James Bond games with Pierce Brosnan, that was so old. I just played a part of it, like the demo.
no.
Um,
GoldenEye.
I'm not sure. On PlayStation 2 with
GoldenEye. Okay,
okay,
let's say.
okay. Mind you, there was already PlayStation 3 back then, but my friend had PlayStation 2 and she had the demo. So we played this game. And on the map of Eastern Europe, because somehow we were in Eastern Europe for some reason, on the map on Bulgaria, on our map, it said hungry, hungry. We are not hungry.
I guess someone was hungry there in the
I mean,
development,
I love to eat
so.
spaghetti, but on this,
I like pie.
but nobody changed. That's a Johnny Bravo joke,
Yeah.
if you didn't get it. So on that map, nobody thought to just check the map and see that on this spot it's supposed to be Bulgaria, not Hungary. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like that Jason and the Argonauts movie with they had Orpheus there who was, you know, Bulgarian, but he was played by a black man.
That's ridiculous.
So, yeah.
Okay. So, the Arab said Cleopatra was best friends with me back in the day.
Ah, that what you told me.
That's my sister, by the way. The story I guess you read about me here and then 20, 30 years later. Yeah. I can't even read it, so fun. Thank you, Jerry, for that. Thank you. And if you want to see something like that, there's an amazing humor, there's amazing SNL sketch with Kristen Wiig, and she pretends to be someone that knows everything. And every time that somebody says anything, really, and she's like, "Yes, I was also there," and that she's doing this with her hair, and then I also was a Caesar, and I conquered everything, and I did this, and I did that, and I'm friend with the tomato, and the tomato is great.
And I invented the tomato.
Yes, it is also super funny sketch with Kristen Wiig. Yeah, I don't know how her character was called. Uh,
It wasn't medieval. No, yeah, medieval.
ah,
Yeah,
damn it.
yeah.
You'll find it,
Yes.
SNL with Crystal Wick, you'll find it. But yeah. So, uh, she just dropped the Johnny Bravo reference. Yes. I
The I
mean,
like pie. Yeah, or
I
no.
like pie.
Yes,
Johnny Bravo against the pie
exactly.
on election day. Who wins?
Who
The
is
pie.
the pie?
Of course. The pie is more
Let's not
intelligent.
forget that his favorite show is macaroni and cheese spinning around
Spinning
and
around
around
and
and
around
around
and
and
around.
around.
And also nunchuck chicks.
Chicks, yes.
Ah,
Someone has to make. I like your shoes. Someone has
she's the things.
Someone has to make a game about that. Nunchuck chicks. Here we go. Yes.
Yeah. Johnny Bravo. I hope that if there's a revival, we will not see him go woke because they will all say he's so sexist.
Boy, I think that if these woke people see that cartoon today, there will be none offended person left,
Yeah.
because of the jokes and the other things, So, but uh, yeah, shows today. Yes.
Shows today.
Yeah.
Doctor Who in a pen, in a garbage bin. I
Yes.
mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
R.I.P. Doctor Who, and as long as and other things. So I really hope that they won't do things to X-Men. To me, my X-Men stay not woke. Yes.
yeah, although, morph and all, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not
At least it's
a
not in your
front at
face,
all.
as we said. Yeah.
Yeah, it's barely, he's barely there to begin
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
And
So,
yeah.
would the game play good?
Yeah,
Probably,
probably.
but still, should have been.
That's the only game that I would give money, and Space Marine 2, of course, if
Mm,
I don't get that from Sun Studio. If I don't have that luck, I would usually always buy Assassin's Creed games. But now I don't want to support this crap,
yeah. Yeah.
You can always freaking pirate it and still play the game,
I
see
still
how it
play the
is.
game. Yes.
When they crack it, the problem is they're going to crack it like in a year. Who knows? Maybe it's earlier. But we can always protest like that. I'm allergic to woke. It makes me break out of handcuffs. That's
Yes.
probably your
We're
superpower.
we're all allergic to that.
We're going
Yeah.
we're going to all develop this superpower
Probably yes. I
because
mean,
it's like,
the moment we hear stupid thing like that, so whether is it things about two sexy women in games, then there is a black person in game and all the other things. I mean, some people said as an argument that what happens with game is okay. That back in the days, remember this old anime called Afro Samurai? No one can play it back then. It was a fantasy. It
firstly,
wasn't based historically on anything. I think they had even spaceships or things like that. Doesn't matter. It was a
it's a separate story that's not
separate
it's
story.
not supposed to depict
Yeah.
depict Japan, and the way that Assassin's Creed games are made is always
Yeah.
with the protagonist from that country or
Mm.
region. So with this game, they break all of that completely. That's the
Yeah.
issue. They break all of that. So we are not against a game with Yasuke
Yeah.
or Willem.
Yeah.
We are against that the first game is
The main game,
the
as
main
we say
game
for that.
be
Yeah.
with an original Japanese character like it should be, original Japanese samurai, and then make all the other things.
Or even
It's
if
gonna
it
be
was
fine.
the woman samurai, we would have been again okay. Imagine if she and that Kunoichi girl that we have now, if they combine forces. And then here you go, you have two strong women that actually don't have to
And are
behave like
Japanese.
trees, and
And
are
are
Japanese,
Japanese.
yes. And here we go.
Here we go. Okay, so Matt says Nikone has a time capsule that they put in ground in 95 or 96. That's supposed to be open in 2042.
Is
Everything will be
Nickelodeon going to be
cancelled.
here by then?
Yeah,
Okay.
everything will be cancelled and offensive in some way.
Yeah,
I hope
exactly.
not. I mean, my hope is that we can be the voice of reason and with our voices being heard, push back, because you know what happened? Everybody underestimated those nonsense, those woke nonsense when they first started.
Yeah.
And we are now like what, how many years from 2016 around that time that everything started. And now it's 2024. So that is
Yeah.
like what, 9 years? 9
9
years
years.
that we were underestimating this, that it's going to become a thing, and it has become a cancer, not only a thing. So now a lot of people are waking up and trying to fight
Yeah.
this,
I
us included,
I remember
actively
really
now.
how they started very, very slowly in 2015, 2016. 2015, for example, was the year in which Bobby Drake, aka Iceman from X-Men, was made gay. You know, for no reason. After 30 years of history of that character, he was even more proudly because
Talk
he was
about the retcon.
in the original team there from 1960 something. Iceman was there, part of the original team, and then he became this cool guy that was with a lot of women, like in comic books. I mean, a lot of women, but never with one true. Don't know why these guys are like that in comic books. So
That's another topic,
that's
though.
another topic. And all of a sudden, there was a girl there. I saw the shot a few days ago that she tells him, "Well, Bobby, why don't you just say it?" And he said what? Well, what we always know what? That you're gay.
Oh, Jesus.
And I said, what? So out of nowhere, and they did this with other characters, with just to they never created one that was actually like that. And if they do it now it's going to be pandering. So now it won't work anymore. You know, if you create an original characters, no, they take normal characters, you know, that we had for 2 years, and they did this to them. Why? Did they make them more interesting? No, it even make less of a sense for that. And they did the same thing with Doctor Who, and really I was one of these people that couldn't see it back then when I watched it, and they were talking down to him. He was still a man, you know. Oh no, you're not that good. And I said, Doctor Who is not that good, you know. And even he was saying stuff like, oh, why you people living on Earth are always like that, divided with, you know, women should be this, and I was thinking, what is happening with the show? But I was still kind of okay. It's still Doctor Who. Then they wanted to make him one, and I said, okay, as long as he's Doctor Who on the inside, good. And then you started seeing how actually the show shifted, just like they did with other things. And this started really very, very, very slowly, almost not noticeable. Is
Okay.
something playing?
Trying to get it up now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Well,
that's
Quinn
why.
says that
Yeah.
the woke shit started further back in '96 with the political correctness crap. Well, if it did,
Oh.
it wasn't
Yeah.
noticeable because no internet stuff, you know.
Mm.
But now with the internet, everything is like spreading like wildfire,
Mm.
literally.
Yeah.
So I would take it that everything was starting to get established since 2016.
Yeah.
Before that was really a lot of, just normal stuff, basically, and very good representation without doing it on purpose.
Mm.
Just talented people got the best roles, and that's it.
Yeah.
And one more thing, which is strange based, Ivy says, which is strange because back in the 90s, movies still showed the far future of 2029. Timing it for 2042, it was probably like post-apocalypse era to them. Yeah, but nobody could have guessed it that we will have a woke apocalypse
Yeah.
instead of a physical one. But it's still gonna be physical one eventually. The woke should start. Yeah, I read that, and yep, that was the literal start. But its roots go even deeper back to the 60s, 70s counterculture. Counterculture?
Counterculture.
Culture?
Culture.
Oh, they softened us up with tolerance. Remember that puke
Yeah.
concert?
Yeah, exactly. That's the word. They were actually wanted you to have to be tolerant. They,
Towards?
towards you know, queer people, all sorts of people. Tolerant,
Ah,
because it sounds like a good word, you know. That's why there are many people who actually got fooled by that, because they think, yeah, to be tolerant means this, but actually, look how good the name of the X-Men season finale goes. Tolerance is extinction in that game.
wow.
Really.
I mean, don't get us wrong, guys.
Yeah.
Uh, we are tolerant
Yeah.
in
As
a
we said, I
normal
have friends
way.
who are, yeah. So.
I mean, we appreciate people for who they are, not
Yeah,
their
yeah.
sexual orientation.
That should
And
be our skin color. Yeah.
yeah, or that. And if you're consenting adults and you're not doing anything that will hurt anyone else and yourselves, you're doing sensible things, so to speak, yeah,
Yeah.
then it's all good. But if you try to push those stuff on kids, you try to
Yeah,
push
yeah,
whatever it is that you want to oppose on everyone in a fascist manner, that we are going to
yeah.
say something about it, because that is not how things should be. If you don't want something to be done to you, don't do it to others.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Exactly. Leave the kids learn the things the way they should. Don't put stuff in Buzz Lightyear, Baymax, or whatever. And even in Transformers, they have one cartoon with a non-binary Transformer and things like that. So,
And there was literally in the
yeah.
Baymax TV show, not the movie,
Yes.
but in the TV show was literally a guy that was selling fish and he was gay.
And he was
That
hitting on
was,
another guy.
oh my God.
So,
That
yeah.
was shown
Yeah.
directly and openly shown to kids that
Yeah,
this
yeah.
guy, hey, this is a gay guy. And he's like, oh, my friend, my boyfriend or something. I don't know. I don't remember, because when I saw it, I was like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
This
No, he,
was,
he was hitting on another guy. He just didn't know how to tell him. And
yeah, it's so awkward.
yeah,
I don't need that in the kids shows. I mean, we can also watch them, but obviously they're meant for the younger public.
yeah,
So they're supposed to be seeing this.
yeah,
What? And we grew up perfectly fine.
yeah.
As I
And
always say, we didn't have to be told what is gay, what it
yeah,
isn't, or whatever. We saw those people eventually. That singer, damn it, George
George Michael.
George Michael.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, we found about him later on
Mm.
that he was gay. Before that, damn
Elton
it.
John.
Yes, but yeah, before that.
Even before.
Yes. Damn it.
Well,
Had a Hare Krishna song.
well, Boy George.
Boy
Yeah,
George,
Boy
yes.
George. Yes.
So he
Yeah.
was one of these guys that you obviously see that he has makeup on. So you're like, oh, this guy has makeup on. And then your parents have to explain, oh, yeah, this guy is gay and he likes men.
Yeah.
I don't remember
Yeah.
exactly what it is. And I'm like, oh, this is weird. But I didn't think much of it because, kid. And then later on, and by the way, we got everything late in Bulgaria, so that means that was a lot later than you got it, years later.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, after that, you start to find out about other people and other people, and you naturally
Yeah.
progress through this information, and you grow up in this time, and you start to understand it, and that's it, and you accept it for what it is, and you just move on with your life.
Mm.
That is it. Then I really had actually a gay boss at one point when I worked at McDonald's when I was teen.
Mm.
He was just a normal guy that was trying to get through the freaking stress of working at McDonald's. That was
Freddie
awful.
Mercury.
What?
It
No, Freddie
just hit
Mercury
me.
too. Yes,
That was
yes,
the name. Yeah, how we forget about
yes,
him.
yes.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, by the
Yeah.
way, yeah, everybody knew that even here in Bulgaria, and no one was like, no, I will never listen to his songs or things like that. But one of the greatest singers and greatest voice ever. So yeah.
Oh yeah, and my
Super.
parents, probably your parents too.
Mm.
My parents weren't from the younger generation now
Yeah,
that we
yeah,
are,
yeah.
and they didn't know a lot of that, but they still grew up with those singers,
Mm-hmm.
and they understood and respected them, no matter if they
We
had this sexual orientation. They understood
And we
that.
actually had Bulgarian singers from their time that were also gay, and they kind of knew about them. That's you and I don't.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but my mother, for example, told me one of her favorite actors was Richard Chamberlain, who plays John Blackthorne in the original Shogun TV show. And he was also maybe not at first openly gay, but at some point, and people here in Bulgaria knew that again even at that time. I mean, the show came here, I think, in the beginning of the 90s or something like that, and I watched the show, and of course Japan and stuff like that, and My mother always was talking about him, that how much she likes me. But she knew, and she explained me actually through him. And here we go. Yes. And so yeah, even we had singers that were like that, and people knew that. Especially imagine in Bulgaria at that time, you know. But yeah, they still managed to explain, and everything was fine. We never thought about oh, what is this? Oh,
Yeah,
confusion. No,
they're just enjoying the
everything happened
music.
organically. Yes. Yeah.
They just, in their minds, those people had great music,
Yeah.
and that's it,
Yeah. That's
really.
it.
And that's how we grew up. So we never needed the pandering,
Yeah.
lecturing,
And also,
whatever.
these people were actually doing the thing they like, doing the music, being actors. No one was pushing things like that in your face. Hey, look at me, I'm this because, and now you're going to know, you're going to see it in my art too. Or as Ian McKellen said in one interview, after all, we are actors. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
let's not forget that. How was the name of that guy from The Big Bang Theory? Sheldon.
Jim Parsons.
Jim Parsons, yeah. He played the guy that was basically asexual for the most of the show for 10 years. Then he became normal. Not normal, he never normal, but yeah, he actually got a girlfriend and married and all of that. But he's gay in real life. But why?
Yeah.
Why is this, you ask? Because he's an actor and he can play a role.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is it. And then in Hollywood, that show that I first saw, David Cornswet, the new Superman, he played actually one of the producers or whatever and wanted to sleep with guys. So then, okay, he played a gay role, great.
Yeah.
That other guy from How I Met Your Mom,
Neil Patrick Harris.
yes,
Yes.
the guy was playing a womanizer
Yeah,
for 10
yeah,
years
yeah.
again, but he's gay in real
Again,
life. Wow, he's an actor again. Oh, great
yeah.
job. Great job.
Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, the best voice of Batman was also gay, but
Yeah.
did he wanted Batman to make like that? No. He said that's the role, it helps me to have the voice like that and everything else. He never wanted this to be pandered or anything, nobody felt sorry for him or things like that because of that, no. So this was the role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I almost lost my voice. If you can redirect the last comments.
Where do we start then? That they soften us up with the
Yes,
tolerance
culture
that
was
we say,
against
yes.
awkward. Yeah.
To tolerate is to endure something that is bad that you just deal with and let continue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not
yeah,
actually what we're doing here.
yeah,
When we're really accepting. We are accepting.
yes. And then he gets something from a dictionary. Yeah, so existence, occurrence, or
Practice of
practice, yes, of
something that
something.
one does not necessarily like or agree with without interference. A regime unwilling to tolerate dissent. And Mati, my best friend from high school, was in love with Boy George. That he was a she. He was devastated when he found out that he was a she.
Thought he was a she. He
Ah,
was devastated when he found out otherwise.
it was obvious that he was a man, even
It
with the
was pretty
makeup.
obvious,
Come
yes.
on.
I mean, I was 5 or something like that, and I was, and he looked interesting,
Yeah.
It wasn't anything weird. And you listen to the voice, great songs. I mean, I remember just the songs. I never thought about other things like that. To me, the boy from, I thought the boy, the youngest boy from the Bob, the handsome. Yeah,
Handsome.
I thought
Yeah.
he was good because
Yeah.
of the voice, but
He was
still,
gay.
it
Yeah.
was a guy, and actually his voice got even
Higher?
manlier.
I'm in there. Oh.
Yeah, he had a soul thingy after that. Yeah,
Oh, that's great.
yeah.
Okay, guys, it's almost midnight here. So, I gotta go. But for those of you that don't know, I'm using OnlyFans. Oh my god, shocking. For good things and not the Slaaneshy things. So, if those of you that have not heard, unfortunately or fortunately, OnlyFans is one of the only sites that you can just upload videos and they will not make you pay for that. So I use OnlyFans to make videos about coaching, about your fitness, health, nutrition, relationship, education. I mean, sex education as well. I talk about those things, inform people if they need something. Some people actually come to me and ask me, hey Gary, help me with that. I have this issue. So yeah, I'm happy to help people there. And I also, when I make progress with my fitness journey, I actually post my pictures there. They are tastefully done in Slaaneshy. So that is it. It's a it's my educational slash art expression, another type of a thing that the site allows for. So that's why I use it, basically. But if there's any site that I can ever use that can have more like a YouTube thing and then a OnlyFans thing, so people have enough accounts there, I would gladly migrate. But so far, I just can't because most people just have accounts there. But yeah, at least it allows me to do whatever I can to provide something different that nobody else is doing. So yeah, thank you for that, guys. For joining us. Probably going to take some kind of a break tomorrow because I have been non-stop on everything. I just need one day off. And I'm going to be back hopefully on Monday and to kick some butt.
Yes, with surely there will be some new news by that
To
point.
kick
So
butt.
yeah, to kick butt, yes.
Yeah.
And
But
chew bubble.
yeah, but stay based. Stay based and don't quit 40k. I wouldn't say quit 40k because we can still talk about the lore, dissect it, still good
Yeah.
lore, still a lot of things to talk about. I can still tell a lot about, I mean, in terms of analysis of the lore that gluten can't, and I did it before, actually. So there's a lot of things that are kind of hidden, interesting that could be covered in 40k that have not been touched. So that's still there, still of interest and quality, and we can enjoy that without GW even being involved.
Yeah.
And we can show our love and stance for 40k and be the hammer in Warhammer. Like I said, some of my community posts, but I just think that that's really fitting for this case because if we leave everything that gets corrupted by the woke, it's going to get completely consumed.
Yeah.
And 40k is not. It's not completely consumed. There's some woke authors, there's some that are not woke, and they're actually writing the biggest books and novels, like Dan Abnett, for example. So they're the ones that really matter. And everything else, we can talk about it and we can let GW know what we actually love, like, and so on. And the woke, I don't know. I mean, they're too loud, but they can be everywhere all at once if we
Exactly,
also
yes.
are there to always keep the gate, always be as sanguineous on the gate and keep the freaking gate and, fight for the quality that we love and expect from 40k. And that is it, because if we don't, they're just gonna continue ruining everything. And if they have resistance, that's different. We can do something here. So let's do it. Have a great Sunday, guys. Love ya. From me, the 40k Empress Gary and Logan. Bye bye.